he's the wizard of being an asshole.
You'd have to be the biggest scumbag in the world to try to pin another man's suicide on another person because of an internet beef that me and you are having.
In Ethan's content nuke, he mentions Keemstar's sponsor G Fuel 8 times.
But the amount of self-destruction in this little feud is hilarious.
Now he's going for brand and trying to ruin the potential of long-term brand deals for everyone.
Is it time to get out of the bunker yet? What's up, guys? Now, it's been almost a month since the bombs were dropped over the commentary community. And I guess since Ethan realized that World War III wasn't actually happening, he'd make it happen over YouTube. And oh, what a war it was. H3 versus Keemstar. H3 Podcast versus Drama Alert. The battle of the century. Not really, but meh. Twitter wouldn't shut the fuck up. Fanfare, propaganda, the works. And you know the typical, when someone releases a 40-something minute expose video, the community makes their videos about it. And I guess now is my time for that. There goes my dreams of being an assistant designer to Teddy Fresh, and ever being on Keem's good side ever again. Even though the last time we talked he was disappointed in me. No, I've had my times with both parties. I've modeled for Teddy Fresh, and Keem's helped me out, given me advice, and gave me free shit. But even though I'm kind of in between, my opinion might shock some people. Jada the Demon, shout out to the homegirl, said it best when we were talking about this earlier in a Discord call, and I agree with this quote 100%. I agree with none of them. However, I can argue against or towards individual things they say and do. So, how the hell will I view this? How will I keep this as unbiased as possible? How will I keep this short, sweet, and to the point? Well, I decided to do something a little bit different. And especially during trying times such as these, and with us having to go through hours worth of this bullshit, I decided to make this a little bit fun. So how about we play a game?
Ethan Klein is a liar! He's a liar, you liar! That's not the truth!
Destroying lives is a weekly sport for Keemstar.
To
The
each other,
pain
that it
lingers
was
on
so
for
hard.
those that have.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Mystic presiding, Mama. A queen, she serves costume changes. Welcome to the Atomic Courtroom. Now the rules to the game are simple. We will be going through all points made throughout the H3 trilogy videos and Keem's responses with the exception of the Goku Naru video, simply because it was not created during the timeline, thus I am not including it. For all fairness, we will be going through the points made in each video and taking them at face value. So I will be reading them out basically as they were said in the video. As we go through, points will be allotted to whoever that point leans towards the most. Points will be given to Keem, Ethan, both, or neither. With a slight twist, I will be allotting judge points, which I have 4. Judge points are basically the only time I will be giving my personal opinion, and I basically use them as counter arguments in a sense, and they can go to either party. Now this is the only time where the exemption to the Goku Naru rule is going to be put in place, so think of the 4th one as the Goku Naru point. And that is it. Each argument has been categorized into a level. Each level is basically whoever was discussed at the time for that argument to be made. There are 5 levels, plus a bonus round for each contestant to pick up more points, basically about the people who weren't talked about at length. And at the end we will reveal who is the winner. Now that the rules have been read, the court may proceed. Let's start. Oh hell no! I already made a 20-minute video about this shit. I'm not touching this again. If you want to know my opinions and what happened with all this, links will be at the end of the video. Court rules, I am giving this a resounding fuck no, thus no points are allotted. I need a real gavel. Keem covered Bashard's story quite relentlessly, even though he was having an obvious mental break. Ethan plays a clip from a live stream, obviously showing he is not empathetic to the mental breakdown, quoting, "He's gonna kill himself because of me," and also saying, "How will this hurt me?" However, no one was even really talking about it or thinking about it up until now, thus actually reigniting the people to go after Basher again. And now Basher, who has rebranded and tried to get away from that name as much as possible, is experiencing all this all over again. Not in mass, but there's still an influx. Now to the point where I heard that he actually had to censor Pedophile and Clara in his Discord. So, not fun times for Basher. He did not want this. Judge point allotted. In the case of Smile for YouTube, Keem doxed his wife's number, which she was not involved whatsoever. And because of the stream where he was finding out his dox, he did end up getting swatted. Probably not by Keem, but by someone else who was watching the stream. However, Smile for YouTube was a serial harasser, doxer, and DDoSer. Keem stated he was looking for his dox only to send it to the police, and allegedly, he did. I say allegedly because I actually asked Keem about the police report, and he blocked my messages. So, can't confirm or deny. In the case of Swatistic, Keem interviewed a swatter that did get someone killed. But Keem also was able to get the swatter to admit that he did it, and it was admissible in court. Fans went after Tony for over a year after the incident. However, I will argue Keem cannot control his fans. He did clear up his mistake 2 hours later, and that was that on his end, so judge point allotted. Ethan shows a clip where Keem says that he doesn't want to deal with Tony's shit anymore, quoting, "Go fuck yourself." Keem showed that he tried to make amends with Tony several times by playing games with him, calling him, etc. Tony says multiple times that he forgave Keem, quoting, "Who gives a shit?" Even says Keem was the best thing to ever happen to him. Tony's old manager even making a video backing Keem. Even though Tony did accuse Keem of sending hate his way, Keem disproved that as false. Keemstar mentions the catfish story, which was handled extremely poorly, and either should not have been said at all, or said with an addendum, "It was cleared up already," yada yada. Ethan vaguely goes over the Rebecca Hart story, and highlights that Tony disproved it in 2017. However, Keemstar wasn't involved in that, so judge point allotted. Now here's where it gets touchy. Ethan shows the constant broadcasting of Etika's manic state and manic tweets on Drama Alert multiple times whilst Keem was laughing. Ethan claims Keem doxed the mental hospital where Etika was staying, but Keem later refutes that he was just telling people that he was okay and checked into a mental hospital. Ethan brings up a tweet that Keem posted saying that him and Etika were not friends, thus claiming that his tweets were hypocritical. Ethan also shows the interview with Etika made right after he left the mental hospital, basically making a display of his mental state and goading him through it. Ethan also quotes Keem, saying, "Just jump off a cliff." Keem then shows a text message from Etika's mother, quoting that Etika wanted his appearance to be memorable, exciting, dramatic, and entertaining because Etika loved Drama Alert. Etika's ex-girlfriend also backs that text, later saying it wasn't Keem's fault for Etika's death, and basically also saying, "Hey, I'm not on his side, but here's them facts." Keem then shows old posts saying, hey, he actually did give a shit about Etika. Keem also then states that the interview wasn't actually Etika, it was a character to back the mother's claim of the wanting to make it entertaining. Etika also wished Keem the best before passing, thus also backing the claim that it wasn't Keem's fault and Keem didn't push him to anything. Keem also argued that the jump off a cliff statement was a warning, saying he was trying to help by telling him, hey, this isn't a simulation, this is real life, be careful with your life here, bud. Keem states that H3 heavily implied that Etika killed himself because of Keemstar, but then later backtracking in tweets. And Keem then agrees that he did have bad takes when it came to mental health in the past, but because of the Etika situation, he has changed his mindset. However, Ethan later shows tweets from Boogie2988 saying that may not really be the case, thus judge point allotted. Ethan says it was wrong of Keem to boil his entire argument down to, you killed Etika. Ethan also claiming that Keem made it a toxic environment for Etika, showing that Keem has a long track record of mocking the mentally ill, and even showing that Keem mocked his mental health in his H3 fraud video. Bonus points speedrun. Keem tried to get G Fuel to stop sponsoring him. Keem also accused his 8-year-old son of jerking off a dog. Ethan was quoted a lot saying, nice neighborhood pedo and creepy guy with pedo vibes. Ethan was also quoted to use a lot of hot words like rape, rapist, pedophile, etc., and continued to use it in his H3 podcast when addressing Patrice, thus making the constantly accusing people of being a pedophile claim to sound a little bit hypocritical. Patrice then made a video stating that people did take those jokes literally, went after him, and it did affect his mental health. They both claim that those were jokes that each other took literally and tried to use against each other, thus I am saying no points allotted. Keem made false pedo allegations about Shoe Nice on Twitter. However, Ethan has been bullying Shoe Nice, a fringed alcoholic, for years. So, Goku Naro point allotted. Sensationalizing Fuzi's mental state over several drama alerts and a whole entire documentary was a poor call. However, Keem stated there was an entire podcast roasting Fuzi. The part that bugs me the most. Ethan was quoted saying, "I don't support it, but G Fuel has such a part in Keem's identity, how can I not address it?" Also quoting, "Maybe the problem is Keemstar, who is so irresponsible in his coverage of news, he shouldn't integrate a brand into it." I'm not allotting a point for this, but since I'm just discussing this right now, so if CNN made a bad take, are they supposed to lose all their sponsors? Or if you make a bad point, Ethan, you want MeUndies, fucking that one toothbrush company, whatever else that you sponsor Dollar Shave Club to bounce to. Come on, dude. Ethan then does bring up that Keem did go after Soar's sponsors after doing some questionable things, so they both kind of did it. Now the reason we're all fucking here. Keem stated that Ethan pocketed the Payday DLC money that was meant to go to FUPA, which Ethan quickly disapproved by calling a member of the company that made Payday. Now with all points allotted, and the jury has made their decision, the winner is no one. That's right, in the end, no one wins, because just like Whose Line, the points never mattered. Via a technicality, we all lost. Not just Ethan and Keem, everyone lost. But why I state we all lose is because we've entered Adpocalypse 3 Revenge of the Sponsors. Ethan, whether he wanted to or not, has set the precedent that going after sponsors is now okay. And I'm not talking about it in the sense that someone did something bad, thus inform the sponsors. I'm talking about it as now it's like a free-for-all. Now you don't like somebody, you criticize somebody, go after their sponsors. Hell, I heard a rumor, can't confirm or deny that this is true, that there was either a 4chan or a Twitter thread where people were starting to go after Philly D's and iDubbbz' sponsor for whatever reason, because now it's okay. And why I'm criticizing Ethan so heavily about this was because Keem actually did go to Twitter and fucking told people, hey, don't go after Ethan's sponsors after the ties with G Fuel were cut. Like, Ethan mentioned G Fuel like 8 times. How the fuck is that not gonna like raise some red flags for the company? Now that I think about it, I actually own a collector's item now. Thanks, Keem. In my degree, I learned a little bit about marketing. And coming from a marketing standpoint, no company in their right mind is going to go through a creator's entire history, backlog, tweets, drama, things that they said to verify whether they're a good person to sponsor. They see money, follower count, and reach. And if that is a high enough number, fuck yeah, you're getting a sponsor. Why? More customers. So yeah, the question of why is G Fuel still sponsoring this guy? Because he probably has the most people using his code. And to the opposite of that, once they see that there's an exposed video, they're not going to background check the facts. They're not going to make sure everything looks good and make sure everything's correct. They're going to see it. They're going to say, bad client, bad PR, get rid of it. Thus the cycle of, oh fuck, it's so easy to fucking get rid of someone's sponsor. Let's show them XYZ bad thing they did and then let's get rid of their fucking income. Not only that, but bringing up a man that hasn't even been dead for a year yet against somebody was an extremely tone-deaf point. But not only that, putting 2018-2019 events into today's context is so unfair. Etika was known to be very outgoing, entertaining, very crazy. So not everyone knew that he was actually mentally hurting. Many people didn't believe he was actually manic to the point where he would commit suicide. The second reason why everyone lost, this is all because of the FUPA allegation. Now here's why this pisses me off. I think actually a little bit more than the sponsor thing. So we got all of this because instead of H3 making a 5 to 10 minute video directly getting out the truths about the accusations at hand, he made a 45-minute expose about all of Keem's wrongdoings since 2015 that we already been knew. I mean, technically so is this video, but sue me, I tried to have fun. Like, people have been trying to cancel Keem since 2016. The fuck is H3 gonna do that no one else has? Like, it was just so obvious that H3 was doing it just to start shit. Like, the fuck? At the end of the day, if this was all about FUPA funds, why not make it only about FUPA funds? Here's an idea, Ethan. If you want people to stop getting on your back about FUPA, Teddy Fresh is in Zoomies. Teddy Fresh is also quite expensive. And I know for a fact that price is not reflective of the cost of your clothing. I would know. I'm a fashion design major. I know how markups work. How about you take 10% of all quarterly earnings and put it into FUPA? Not only that, how about you also make a website where you can also show the receipts of you putting in the quarterly earnings into FUPA, while also making it possible for other people to donate directly to FUPA. Then people like some ordinary gamer might get off your ass about it as well. At the end of the day, all this was just completely unnecessary. As I probably do in every video, I'm going to apologize for the absence. I just finished up my degree, as well as taking this time during quarantine to fully recover from the grueling process of finishing up my degree. But either way, I hope you guys see that I'm trying to make each video at least a little bit more interesting than the last. I still love you guys, I still care about you guys, and thank you so much for still sticking around whilst I've been away. Ironic that Etika was a heavy point in this video, but I'm going to continue the tradition of saying it at the end of each video. Keep stargazing, and I'll see you fuckers in the next one. Bye-bye.
Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.